Hey, this is Yulia and welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna tell you how I've learned French in less than 2 years. French is the fourth language for me. My native language is Russian. Then I studied English and German at the university, and then I moved to Canada and had to learn French. In this video, I wanted to share my journey as well as some tips and tricks that will help you learn a language. It doesn't matter if it's French, if it's German, any language. So here's a bit of my background. I started learning English when I was like 4 or 5 years old. Then I went to school and I had English from grade 3, and then in grade 7 we had to choose between two languages, and it was German and French. I wanted to study French because all of my friends picked French, and I was like, no, I don't want to study German. It's boring, it sounds like rah, 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 rah.
What did you say?
And my parents were like, no, you should study German because then you can go to Germany and study for free. Even though in France you can also study for free. But it doesn't matter anyways. Brilliant. I graduated high school, went to university. My major was English and German. So basically I'm a teacher of English and German languages. Hey! And then I worked for a bit and decided to move to Canada. I went to Ottawa, the capital of Canada, for those who don't know that. I studied at Algonquin College, and then I got a job in Montreal, Quebec. Quebec is a French-speaking province. I knew I had to learn French, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it later. But then I realized that immigration processes in Quebec take so much time that I had to learn French ASAP. Prior to moving to Montreal, I took some private classes with a tutor. He taught me some basics like bonjour, ça va, and all that kind of stuff. And then I moved to Montreal thinking, that's perfect, I have some base knowledge and I'm gonna be just perfect. I should also mention that for my job as a developer, I didn't need French, so I got a job without speaking French, even though in Montreal for some positions you'll need to speak French because when you deal with people, with customers, you have to be bilingual. So I got a job, I moved to Montreal, and I was like, I should find a tutor and continue learning French because I'll need to pass my French exam at upper intermediate level, B2, when I'm gonna apply for my residency. I found a tutor, it was a Russian girl, and she was okay. I found her online. We met for a couple of times, but all the stuff we did in our classes was reading out loud. She was like, read this article, and I was reading out loud the article without correcting mistakes, without discussing the article, without having any homework. And then I realized that it's just a waste of time, a waste of money, and I'm gonna learn French myself. So this is basically where my journey started. It was July of 2016. I moved to Montreal and I downloaded some apps like Duolingo, Memrise, and I started doing basic stuff. So for almost a year, I've been practicing my French in these apps by doing these exercises. I know it's different than learning a language with a person in class or something else, but it was better than nothing. It was better than that tutor that I had before. So I decided that when I reach B1 level, so it's like intermediate, I'll go to school, I'll get a tutor or something else, but before that, I'll use everything that I can. So I've been using these two apps for a while, but then I discovered one more. It is perfect if you want to learn a language, but you don't have any money to go abroad, to learn French in France, or to learn German in Germany. The app is called HelloTalk. Basically, how it works is there are people using the app. For example, me. I speak Russian, English, German, and I want to learn French. There is a person on the other end who speaks French but wants to learn Russian. So I found there a person from Quebec who was learning Russian, and I was a Russian person learning French. So we've been chatting on the app, teaching each other some things about French, about Russian, and it actually helped because when you use apps like Duolingo and Memrise, it's always one way because you always like repeat after me or read the sentence, but there you can actually talk to a person who will correct all of your mistakes. So if you actually think that you need money to go somewhere to learn language, you can do it with the apps.
I'm not joking.
The time went by and I realized that I've reached my level and that I have to go to school to talk to people, or I should find like a tutor. But again, having a tutor will be more expensive than going to school and actually taking classes. So I found this evening course. I think the classes were 2 times a week, 3 hours each. I had a lot of speaking practice there. And then after like a couple of months, I switched to B2, which is 1 level higher, because I realized that I'm done with this and I'm ready to move forward. Also, it's cool, they give you like your grades. Are you ready? You're not ready? You're liking this, you're liking that, so you can understand what's missing. Maybe you can work on something else. I asked my teacher to give me more homework so I can practice on some things that I was lacking, like grammar, like tenses, because tenses in French are like a bit complicated. Not the tenses themselves, but the sequence of tenses. And then after I finished my B2 course, I took an exam prep course for TEFAQ. TEFAQ is a version of TEF, which is a French test, but TEFAQ is made specifically for Quebec, for immigration, so I had to pass this test. The course was intense, the teacher was intense, but after 2 months of studying the exam itself, I finally passed it. So I passed my listening part. But as for speaking, I think I missed something and I got like 5 points less than I was supposed to get. So I got B1 instead of B2. So I had to retake this test. I retook this test in like 3 months or so, and I went to another school. So I went to McGill University, took my test again, and I passed my speaking at B2. The most important part in learning a language is studying yourself after classes, after everything. Every day after I come home from work, I would watch YouTube videos in French. I would listen to podcasts. So instead of watching those boring French movies, I was watching a lot of YouTube. I'll make a list of YouTubers and leave that in the description box so you can take a look if you're interested in learning French. I still watch some of the French movies because I had to. In order to improve your listening skills or reading skills, you have to do something. You cannot just like go to a class and think that you're gonna wake up next morning and speak French like a pro. Invest your time in studying a language. You come home from your school, from your job, say, I have an hour to study French. You sit for an hour and you study French. You read, you listen, you write if you want, you do something. It's like a commitment. You have to commit to your studies if you want to succeed, if you want to learn French or any other language in a short period of time. Even if it's not a short period of time. If you want to learn a language, you should commit to it. Another important thing is if you found a tutor and you don't like him or her, if you feel like it's not your tutor, like you can't, you understand that you cannot work with this person anymore, you should either discuss it with your teacher or tutor or find another one. It's okay. I tried learning French with my first tutor, it didn't work. I tried another one later, didn't work also because it was a French girl and I needed to prepare for my TEFAQ Québécois. She knows about TEF everything, perfect, but I need the specific exam that is made specifically for Quebec. Maybe she's a good tutor, she's a native speaker, but it doesn't work for me in the given terms. What also helped me was setting tiny goals, like pass this, do this, learn this. And every time you accomplish something, you feel so much more motivated than you were before. It helps you in learning a new language.
For real?
And I guess that's it. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!